Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to TRG Central. This is episode 11 of the 2025 Road to the Triple Crown series. In this episode, we'll be covering races from weeks 28 and 29, along with an extra special race in week 27. So we'll go back to 27 and run the one extra races we've added. Week 28 has two allowance races, which will field the horses before the allowance races, and there'll be horses taken from the horses that have not run very often during our season. And then we'll also cover week 29, which has the Haskell, Haskell Stakes and the Coaching Club American Oaks races. Again, we added a special week to week 27's race car. It's a Suburban Handicap. It's for 4-year-olds and up. And the reason why we added it has an interesting horse named Phileas Fogg. And of course, a lot of you know the name Phileas Fogg comes from a book around the world in 80 days. So it's kind of interesting to see that name pop up in the horses when we were looking over the horse winnings records in real life. So we added that race along with all the horses that will run that race in real life, and we'll give it a go. Last, we'll look up the top 20 horses for the top 20 horses and the top 20 fillies after the races, looking toward our BC races for the 3-year-olds later in the year. And this is putting us our TRG version of the Breeders' Cup races, but it'll just be for our 3-year-olds. So, let's take a look. We have displayed here is the males, the top 20 qualifiers so far. And again, we'll probably take the top 8 for our Breeders' Cup so you can see where the cutoff is right now. Let's take a look at the females. Uh, in this case, it's just fillies. And the same here, we'll probably take the top 8. I've been thinking about maybe having 2 prep races of 8 and 8 and then the finals of 8. But we'll see when the time comes what's the better way to go. Here are the top 8 the fillies, and with Fondley, the 5th one with victory points of 130 being the cutoff. Alright, let's get over to the schedule. And as you see, we reset the week 27 of the schedule so we can run the Suburban. As far as I know, the Dwyer Stakes has not been scheduled in real life yet. I have not been able to tell you. Here we go. Not been able to find out when that race is actually going to be scheduled. But now it's a listed race instead of one of the graded races, so it's a little harder to track on finding when the running date of the Dwyer Stakes is. But we'll eventually figure that out. Okay, so next race on the race card I mentioned for week 27 is the Suburban Handicap. We'll take a look at the field. And first you'll see it's for 4 years and up, grade 2. We're going to award victory points for just because we can. obviously they're not going to be rated for the for TRG BC races at the end of the year. And it have a purse of $400,000. Here we go, and then there's the Phileas Fogg, and then Pansera, Locke, Benung, Ana Maria, and Tekar, and Asamero. And you probably have seen some of these races, remember horses, remember them from the 24 and 23 seasons, maybe, that they've run a few races in our other seasons. So we'll go ahead and return, and we'll go ahead and get this race started. And you see it pops up, which is affirmative, but it skipped the other race that hasn't been run yet, the Dwyer, because we marked it as skip. Which means it's still available. If we ever get a field for it, we'll go ahead and come back to this week and run it. Here's the information we just went over. And it's the Suburban is running at Saratoga. Here's your 7 horses, and this may only be a 2-horse race. Maybe one of these long shots will have a chance, but you can see it's locked in Phileas Fogg. So let's head over to Saratoga and get this race started. I look at the past performances, but none of these horses have run in the Triple Crown races because they're all 4-year-olds and up. So here we are at Saratoga. This is a mile and a quarter race for 10 furlong. These are 7 horses again, and the riders. And as you see, most of these riders have been running quite a few races in our road to the Triple Crown. So let's go ahead and head over to the Sewage Tower. Everything's lined up and it's to go, and Phileas Fogg is out of the gate first. And we already have a horse that jockey has had a problem with, so let's go ahead and switch to manual. Undo locked. Yeah, 12 to. Usually you see a lock come through, he can't go that way, he has to go outside. Well, he can try to squeeze through, but since you're in the stretch and you have sideways movements, probably no real reason to do that. And see that, and then turn with the lead. And there they go. And as you see, Locke has at least 3 up, 1, and now 6. And taking the tie, but then Locke backed him and locked in the lead here in the back straight. Going into the clubhouse turn, it looks like it's blocked by a lunge quite a bit, and gained more ground as he is going, and it looks like Locke's going to be the winner. Oh no, I think it seems to have passed Phileas, but it looks like that's a good race there for second place. Third, and then it looks like it was another nice finish there for them. So we have Locke, Phileas Fogg second, and Tikbian third, Ana Maria, and so forth. So Locke came away with 240,000. Okay, so that's it from Saratoga. And we're now on to week 28, and we're now scheduled graded races in the road to the Triple Crown for the 3-year-olds. So we added two races that essentially will just allow the lesser known horses a chance to race. And could also be a nice betting tool. There's our fillies in the first race. It has $180,000 and will not have any victory points awarded, but it will be a nice purse. And you can see our 8 fillies and their jockeys and see any trainers we know, Cox. See lots, but so there are a couple trainers that have a few horses here in the race. We'll take a look at the second allowance race for 3-year-olds, which will be mainly the colts. And this one, you see Sovereignty, Uncaged, Luthor, Cafe, A Heart of Honor, and their stables, jockeys, and Todd Fletcher with the horse in the race, along with B.J. Brown. Well, there has a few horses from notable trainers entered. So they're both locked, so let's go ahead and get these two races started. Both of them will be run at Belmont. And so much for an interesting race. There are 3 fillies that could be involved in the final outcome with quite a few strikeouts. Let's look at past performances to see what we have here. The Guns Queen has run twice. It's so icy. It's so icy. It's running one of our allowance races. Mooncatch is not even run yet. Running and gunning. Mooncatch must have been scratched in a preliminary race. And then the 1-1. White Vintage won. Fantastic, along with Mooncatch have not run any races, and Beyond Meetings been in 1. You see, it looks like Kenzie Queen with the 105 speed. Not bad, ran that in the Delaware Oaks. Ended up second in the Oaks there. Alright, well, let's go ahead and I guess we're all set to get this started. And there's a 1-mile race on dirt, first 180 at Belmont. In case you didn't know, if you did this, it gives you a nice picture of this everything, and even gives you a race record. There was one at Belmont. In this case, we must not have run any 8-furlong races or 1-mile races at Belmont. Okay, well, let's start the race. Head over to Belmont. And it's 1 mile right here at the top of the back straight. And it's don't even complete 1 lap. It'll just do 1 turn and then finish. Head over to the tower. Everything looks good. And beyond belief, out of the gate first, and they're off. And so far, everybody's stacked up pretty good here in the back straight. All still in a pretty nice pack, about 3 spaces between everybody. Force 1, Cancer Queen has the early lead, but you see it shaping up as a 3 to 5 horse race here. Very competitive so far, with Cancer Queen still with the lead. We're in the home stretch, and she shoots out in on the turn, and it looks like taking command of the race. And wins the race. It looks like Spicy is second. Drain and March Intention. Let's take a look. And there's the final. Queen first. Spicy second. Adriana Margie's Intention. Moon-Catcher Fantastic in their first races. Didn't do too bad. They ended up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay, let's head over to race 2 here at Belmont, the second allowance race. This is an 8.5 furlong race, which is a mile and 1/16 miles, with a $190,000 purse. No victory points awarded. And this looks like an interesting two-horse race, and that's about it. Everybody else is off the chart. Now let's take a quick look at past performances. Lordship is his first race out. Hardigo's also first race out. Again, these horses were probably scratched in a real-life puck race. So we're giving them a chance to run here. Couple horses with 2 races. Sovereignty has come in 3rd place. Has won a bit of money, but hasn't really impressed anybody. And Lexor Cafe has run 2 allowance races so far. Came in 2nd and out of the money. 2nd and 5th. Another allowance race, looks like him is raced in the third Barton. Did not do well, finished 7th. Pagnone. Gotham Stakes finished 3rd. Okay, let's head over to the track. And you see they're actually in the starting gate at a mile and 1/16. Quick look here. The horses and their riders. And let's go to the Lewis Tower and get this race started. And they're off. Okay, so remember, since it's a half a furlong, you only get that half furlong at the beginning of the race. Okay, right now out of the gate, it looks like it's Haskell with the lead. Sovereignty is taking over the lead. Going into the back turn. That's a pretty nice lead of 1, 2 paces, but Honor is just stopped at the 1 and out 2 off the pace. And there's our finish line. It looks like Sovereignty's in the win. And there you have it. We have Sovereignty, Heart of Honor, and Uncaged came out, and look at that. The show picked up $100. Not bad. Okay, so that's it for week 28 at Belmont Park with 2 allowance races. Let's head over to week 29 where we have 2 dice grade 1 stakes races. Haskell Stakes is $1 million purse, while the coaching club is $500,000. Haskell's open to all 3-year-olds, and the coaching club is open to the fillies. So let's take a look at the fields. And their journalism, Bracket Bucker, Buster, Burnham Street, they all were pretty nice horses. Take a look at the fillies. See if we recognize it. Charles Patilla's been in a few races. And that's the fillies. The fillies pick up 110 victory points, and so does the Haskell. Picks up 100. So Haskell is being run a Monmouth Park and Saratoga for the Coaching Club American Open. So let's go ahead and get over to the betting window for the first race, and that's the Haskell. You can see this is journalism is the odds-on favorite, Burn Square maybe, and Ghoster 3. Everybody else is pretty much considered long shots in this one. Let's take a look at their past performances. Bracket Busters won 1, while the Crazy hasn't been in any yet. National Law, no races. Kentucky Alpha only Delaware Derby, and they won that one, so that's interesting. Journalism's won 2, Santa Anita and San Felipe. Swear's been in 4 races. Has not won one yet either. And Johnston's been in 1, won the Lexington. So Laureate hasn't raced in this one, so we have 3 newbies. And only 2 that have won races. Kentucky Outlaw won the Delaware Derby, and Gosler won the Lexington Derby. Lexington Stakes. Alright. Let's go ahead and head over to Monmouth for the first race of the week. Mile and an 8. Quickly go over the horses and jockeys. Here we have 2 top jockeys in this one. Our team on National Law and Clayman Pratt on Gold Oriented. Over to the Stewart's Tower. Looks like everything's a go. And they're off, and Bracket Busters out of the gate first. We head in for the first turn. Have 3 tied for the lead, but as we're going through the first turn, Gold Orient and Bracket Buster are head to head. And we're in the pack straight, and it's like Orient is just a little ahead of the pack, but not really the whole lot yet. Going into the compound turn into the home stretch, it looks like Gold Oriented. Old 6. Gotchner. Tied him. Gotchner passes. Journalism had a good finish, but not good enough to end up third. So it's Gotchner with the win. Gold Oriented second. And Journalism third. Okay, that's it from Monmouth for the Haskell Stakes. We have Gosner with the win and picked up a nice $600,000 and 100 victory points. So let's go ahead and finish up the week's schedule and our broadcast. The last one is the closing conversion. Let's go ahead and get this started. And well, 3 of the 6, and then you have 3 outsiders. So you have Take Charge, Matilda, Lakara. Lakara, I think, is leading the fillies, so that's kind of interesting. And then Aversive is the favorite. Take a look at them here, and Aversive and Valerie Girl. Valerie Girl came in first place in her only race on last has to run here had dry powder or sweet syrup. I Take Charge Pill has been in 5 races, has not won any, but has done well. Finishing in the money 3 of 5 times. The Carly with the $1 million plus winning, been in 7 races. She's won 4 and a second one, third one, only out of the money 1 time. And she also has the best speed. No, she doesn't. The Mercer has the best speed at 112. Okay. Let's go ahead and head back to Saratoga and let's get this race underway. And it's a 9 furlong, so it starts right at the finish line. Saratoga is a mile and an eighth long. So let's go through the field again and see your starting horses and their jockeys. Okay. Now you can see none of the ones with the 5 rating are racing here. That's because it's at Saratoga. The other race this week was at Longmont, and the top 2 jockeys were over there, although we have a very good jockey in Jose Ortiz on 2 is Sweet. So, Run Pine. Okay, let's go ahead and start the race. So with Tower gives the okay, and they're off. And Lakara comes out of the gate first, but no definitive leader there. 1, 2, 4, and 3. Here in the back stretch. Still 1, 2, 4, 3. Still 1, 2, 4, 3 going into the back. And it looks like One Immersive is taking a massive lead. It looks like it's going to coast to the victory. Lakara got injured, and she's on the track just waiting for the race to be over, and we have a finish. Immersive first, Sweet second, high in second. Take Charge Matilda third. The Lakara did not finish. Let's see, we got any report here. There we go, ankle injury out for 3 months. Boy, if we were doing injuries, that would just about keep her out of the, let's see, November, July, August, September, October. He may or may not be ready for the TRG BC Phillies 3-year-old race at the end of the year. Okay, Mercer picks up 100 victory points there. So that's it from Saratoga. And then you see our next week of races in the 30th. We had a couple allowance races and the Jim Dandy. So those are the races we'll be covering next episode. Probably along with the West Virginia Derby and Saratoga Derby Invitational Stakes. Okay, so that's it for the upcoming schedule. Let's take a look at the standings. Lacara did not do well there, so she'll stay at 400 and some victory points. Let's see if anybody happens to move in. And there's our top 8. Looks like they're the same, but you see Immersive is now moves into 9th place with that 100 points there. So let's go ahead and take a look at the males. And it does take a little time because we have to find all the races, need to calculate how many victory points they got and then accumulate them. And before we can even do the ranking. Okay, there's our top 8 again. Doesn't look like anything changed. They're in Scotland, so they're in the winner there. Picked up 100 points in 11th. 8th is still 70 away. You'd have to run another couple races to move up. And you can see there's 255 horse male horses that have run at least one race in our run to the Triple Crown Steroids. Okay, I think that's going to be it here from TRG Central. This is Gary signing off. Have a wonderful evening.